Oh, good evening, everybody. Bruce Foster here, Jetski Republic. That video was obviously from the weekend's ride over to Moreton Island that Jake Braun, aka Seadoo Jake, set up with help from a few other people. We'll have Jake on shortly. Actually, I've got him on tonight just to talk about the whole event and the hurdles he had to overcome with help from others to make sure that it was pulled off safely and within guidelines, so to speak. So we'll get him on shortly. So what we'll do at the moment is we'll just jump in and we'll do the roundups. Obviously, there was some racing in New South Wales and I'm being spammed again. So I need to get rid of that. Block him. What an idiot. Same again. Sorry, 2 seconds while we get this idiot gone. Yep, done. Alright, good evening everybody. Good evening Dave. Good evening Angelique. Daz, good evening. Yeah, so we got rid of that person trying to spam the chat group. And so yeah, we've got the roundup. We're going to go over to South Island of New Zealand, and the Canterbury Jet Sports Club had the South Island Championship at the weekend, and it seemed to be a pretty well supported event. I've heard a few good comments about it. Tralee, Cunningham, Bailey's over there at the moment, and he was racing in that at the weekend. So the videos I've seen of it just seem to be a real good family vibe about it, and a good atmosphere about the whole event. A bit of fun as well for everybody, but obviously the serious side of a bit of racing as well. Bailey, shout out to Bailey as well. Rec Lights, he won the Rec Lights competition. So congratulations, Bailey. Well done. Good evening, Mike. Yeah, so their weekend went off pretty well. I think there's some footage of it, little clips. Guys, if you're interested in seeing what the event was all about and maybe think about one of their events in the future, look them up. Canterbury Jet Sports Club, South Island, the down Christchurch way. So we'll go to, let's just crack on to the Wellington Club. Maybe get rid of this. People commenting. Yeah, so the Nationals, New Zealand Nationals are this weekend. This coming weekend, Bailey, I believe's competing in that again. He's still over there at the moment, so I'm assuming he will be racing in it. And I think Tralee actually mentioned, his mum said that he was. Yeah, so this coming weekend is the Nationals. Sure, it'll be a pretty good event. We'll keep an eye on the results from that one and see how it all plays out. Obviously, closer to home, we got New South Wales. They had guys, can I get a bit of feedback? Are we getting some audio here? Can people hear me? I'm not sure if I'm got any sound here. This could be a bit awkward if that's the case. Can I be heard? Can someone confirm if I can be... Sure can? Yep, okay, cool. I wasn't sure if the sound was working here. I'm not getting much indicators on my mixer. That's fine, cool. Thank you very much, everybody. I was a bit panicking a bit there that I was speaking and nobody was hearing me. Yeah, so New South Wales had their championship, their round 5 at the weekend. I'll see if I can get these up. Let me just jump up to that. Hopefully that can be seen quite easily. So there's the Pro-Am lights, Pro-Am light ski. First and second, Daniel Walford and Sam Stride. Pro-Am stock 1500s. Dean Kruskos, and Jake Barker, first and second. Decent lineup. We got seven on the line for the Pro-Am rec lights. Dean Kruskos took out first. Corinne Pellet, she took out second, or Corin, sorry. William Lynch got third. Matt Taylor, Matt Skelly, Jay Bahadurin, Jordan Stojkovic was seventh. Pro-Am naturally aspirated runabout. We've got Darrell Apps, Gavin Cox, Seb Bahadurin, and AJ Dupervelen. First, second, third, and fourth. So well done. We'll scroll through. First and second and third in the Pro-Am stock run around was Mark Q, Rob Bray, Dean Kruskos. Dean's been a bit of a busy lad. He's racing in a few events here, so well done. Pro-Am GP runabout. Rob Bray first. We got Mitchell Waite was second. Adam Murad was third. The women's Pro-Am, Ash Kendall's first. Grace Davidson second. Well done, ladies. Junior light skis, Ryan Lynch and Reese Kruskos first and second. Well done. I think that looks like it was just a practice ride because there's no points scored on that one. So, but well done anyway. Pro-Am naturally aspirated. We've got Fori Bachet and Jay Bahadurin first and second. Pro-Am stock runabout. We've got James Brassard, Jordan Stojkovic, Adam Murad was third. Grace was fourth. Well done amongst the male field. Well done. Dave Alford and Sam Stride first and second. The Pro-Am light ski again. They haven't scored points on that one, so I think they just did the event anyway. But well done for still taking part in it. Dean Kruskos and Jake Barker, Pro-Am stock 1500, was none scored as well. That looked like it was just a practice run. Pro-Am rec lights. Dean Kruskos, busy man. He got first. That's the same page, I think. We've read that one already, I think. Give me a second. Jeez, that is. It's the same one. Repeating myself. I think we're missing one. Are we? I think I've actually got it all. Oh, I have. Okay. My apologies. There's only 2 pages of it. I read it wrong. Let's see. That's just the comp itself. Sorry, my apologies there. I got carried away. I never even noticed I was rereading the same page from earlier. Silly me. Okay, so that was New South Wales. They've got round 6 is next month. I can't remember the specific date, but I'm sure someone will shout it out. Okay, Victoria Jetski PWC. Down at Glen Maggie, they had their race weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I know Paul Baisley was down at that. He was racing. Daz Keel was down there. He was marshalling. Positive comments from a lot of people in regards to this event, and the location has been quite highly regarded as a really good venue. So hopefully we can get some more events in there, and we can get a bit more racers to that one. Still in its infancy as far as Victoria is concerned. They're still trying to rebuild and grow again. So the more support you can give all the associations, not just Victoria, the better. So we'll move on. Alex Ewing, well done. Congratulations for that one. I know you had a bit of a bit of a tough issue at one point, or a tough incident at one point, but I think the feedback I've heard from a lot of people was you did a hell of a job, so well done. Getting that event pulled off, so well done again. Okay, one final thing and then we'll get Jake on. Das Keel is looking to, if anyone is interested in training to be a race marshal, PWC or powerboats, if anyone is interested in doing the rescue side and the marshalling side of it, then give Daz a shout, because he's keen to get people on board that are keen to learn how to do it and to support events around Australia. He's putting together a team that can travel around and do some bits and pieces here and there. I'm assuming that's the idea, Daz. All I got was, I just saw the post, so I haven't really actually spoken to Daz. Dave, Venel, any update on the Nationals venue? At the moment, it looks like it's going to be somewhere at Lake Macquarie. About last rumour, well, not rumour, the last I heard was it might be at Rafferty's in New South Wales. The date has yet to be confirmed, but I believe it may well be towards the end of April. Is it April? Daz, I think, might have a better idea on that one, or someone from the AGSB. Not Paul Beasley, Carla McLennan might. I wonder if Carla's on, if she's got an idea what date they've got. I know they're looking at a few dates, and last I heard was Rafferty's might be on the table as the venue. So Dave, as soon as we know, you'll obviously find out about it as well. So back to Daz. Yep, PM Daz. You'll see him on all the groups. He'll be somewhere. You'll have liked a group here, there, and everywhere. You'll see his name if you put a search in somewhere for him. If you're interested in doing this training and becoming part of a rescue marshalling team, he's putting together a group, a team that can go around national competitions around the country, and state competitions as well. So Daz's comment there is, yep, to make a universal standard that provides rescue cover for all AJSBA events. I guess there's probably been a few eyebrows raised at some of the people that they're getting in just now, but we can only get better, and people practice it. And the more you're exposed to it, the more you practice and train it, the better. But it's a great idea. I think it's a great initiative to try and put a team together that can travel around. And it may well be that it's, as a group of people in Victoria, a group of people in Queensland, a group of people in New South Wales, and then maybe Daz would kind of float around between them all. I'm assuming that might be the way it's going to work. But to be honest with you guys, Daz is your number one marshal and rescuing people, and I'm not blowing smoke up his arse because he's a friend. I've seen him in action a few times, and I've seen events run where he's not there, and there is a vast difference in what happens as far as certain incidents and events are handled. So he's on the ball. You'd certainly be learning for the best. So give it a blast if you're interested in it. Drop him a message and let him know what your intentions are and whether you're keen to get involved or not. Okay, so let's move on. We'll get the video chat up. Let's see where we are. Jake, I hope you're ready. Let's dial him in and see where he's at. Right. Let's call him now. That's him on the buzzer. Here we go. Except we've only got sound.
Oh, I'm working on it. I tested everything before as well.
Mate, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't know.
Have you not got? You must have an icon for a camera somewhere, surely.
I press it and it turns it straight off.
Oh, okay. Well, what's happened there then? You got the gremlins, mate. You got the gremlins. Let me get. Sorry, I'm
anyway, Bruce.
Mate, all we'll see is beard. Right, I'm trying to do something as well at the same time here, so it's not. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? That's not the right one. What the heck? There we go. All right, I've got my window. You just need to sort yours out. You must have an icon there that you can just press. Is it not just? Do you want me to buzz you back, and then we'll see if we can get it working? Oh no, I've lost them altogether now. Good God. Right, I'll hang up. Try again. Let's see where we go from here. All right, bear with me, people. Oh, good old technology. I'm coming to get you, Jake. Hopefully it'll work this time. Fingers crossed. Now I can't even connect to him. What's going on? I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying anyway. There was something else I was going to mention as well, and I can't remind you for the hell of me. Oh, yeah. Tonight I was actually going to be trying to test Instagram Live as well at the same time. Oh, there we go. There we go. We'll come back to that. Unmute. There we go, no sound.
How about now? We good now?
Yeah, we're good now. We're good.
Yeah, buddy. I can do it. I can do it. I was starting to sweat. I'm like, dude, I tested this shit before.
We got you now anyway, so that's the main thing. Okay, let me just flick this page over. Okay, so there we go. Get rid of that. All right, so first of all, congratulations on what you managed to pull off at the weekend.
Thank you so much.
Do we have a rough idea how many skis there were in total?
Oh, there was mixed numbers, but we think with the coming and going of people all the time, like from start to finish, there was groups arriving, group leaving, people going up to the wrecks and that sort of stuff. But we estimated 180 plus actually attended the event. So that was really nice.
Damn, that's nice. That's very nice. You got to be proud of that one.
Yeah, very proud. Oh, we're all proud. It was good. It was really good.
Now, I know there was some issues leading up to it. You care to explain? Are you in a position to explain what was going on, what happened?
Because it turned out to be a pretty good result. So about 2 days out, I received 2 missed calls. And then picked up the third one, and it was MSQ, who had been made aware of the event. And they informed me that I was infringing on the aquatic event kind of legislation, saying that, this is going to be classed as an aquatic event and I needed a permit. And I said, more than happy to do a permit, send me the forms, but we both know they take 90 days. So
and they cost money, mate. And they cost money.
They do. So
a lot of money.
A lot of money. And we got chatting. He just was informing me initially of how I was infringing, and it would be best to shut down the event, and if I continued the event.
What was the bits that they were claiming was the infringing? Just the fact that it was a large scale event in an aquatic area, or?
Yeah, it was technically
elements?
based on it was classed as an aquatic event because there was so many people. And I said to him straight away, I said, man, I've gone through all this, and technically, 3 people can be in an aquatic event. So like, it's written in such a gray area that can be interpreted in how you want. Yeah. And and then I was informed that I would get, if I continued the event, I would get 50 point fine, which equates to about $7,000. Um, and
Oh,
look, so at that time, I'm in my car and I'm just like sweating, going, I don't want to
yeah,
say no.
yeah.
And yeah, we
Jake,
had a good chat. And we kind of
yeah,
turned it around. I said, mate, I said, to be honest, at the end of the day, the event's going to go ahead. So much has been put into it. I think this is a really good opportunity that we can work together and not against each other.
yeah,
I said, mate, there's a big stigma at the moment that all jet skiers are hoons and reckless on the water and that sort of stuff.
yeah,
And I invited them to come out and kind of see that there's the majority of the community just want to go explore and have a good
yeah.
time. So,
Well, there's
and
there's there's the picture of one of the members of the MSQ. So, yeah, can you see that?
yeah,
It probably
yeah,
be
which
back to front. It might be back to front for you.
it turned out really awesome because
Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah,
it finished on for last phone call was Friday, and during that time, I also had the assistance, which probably helped. No, not probably did help a lot from Jeff Lakeford. So Jeff was very happy to get involved and kind of help push that through. And through Jeff, we managed to get the guys up from the Gold Coast and the jet skis to come do a flare demonstration, which was wonderful. So my conversation ended with them was, all right, Jake, we have to send you the email and notice that you will be infringing on the aquatic law, aquatic da 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 da. So I received the email and etc. And they said we'll see you Saturday. And I initially said, are you coming out to you're going to target me? You're going to target the people? Like, how's that going to look? I don't want people to come out and everyone get fined. You're going to come out and just fine me? And I said, no, not at all. And I had because the conversation went on for about an hour with him and it went quite well. But I had a feeling he was quite within the law and couldn't say too much and that sort of
yeah.
stuff. I said, hey, mate, myself and the area manager of MSQ are going to come out and see you on Saturday.
Wow. Okay.
But during that time, I had found out through Jeff and his efforts that they're actually coming out to do a flare demonstration. So it was quite clear, I think, that they kind of saw the opportunity.
Yeah.
And it was really good,
I
mate. They
think
were
I think that's
amazing.
fantastic that they have saw the opportunity, and that they've allowed something to happen which everybody wanted to be executed safely anyway. You know,
100%.
like I think everybody, you guys are all experienced enough that if there'd been any crappy behaviour, they would have been asked to just could you leave,
Yeah.
leave the
And
group, go your separate ways,
I don't think it would have got the place that it did as well without kind of how we structured the event and like the information that we put in the event. And also, not quick shout out to Alan Skinner, who did a lot of that. It was really pumping information of, green zones and everything. And they went right through the event. And I invited them to go right through every one of our posts, which was quite strict in the sense, you're an idiot, you're leaving. Here are the rules. We want everyone to have a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, the video from that I showed earlier at the start, like, kind of really represented, and so many of the posts that have went up on Facebook about it have all been positive. I don't think I've seen one negative comment about the whole event. Everybody loved it to the point where now they're waiting on you. What are you going to do next?
Yeah, yeah, everyone's ready for the next one. I'm like, oh, I'm not starting a tour, but we'll do these more often.
So I'm just going to randomly scroll through the pictures,
Yep.
and if there's anything that picture that you see, you can chat away about what you maybe are thinking about for the future, or what you're maybe hoping to do in the future. I've got
What?
one question for you. Are MSQ willing to be not more involved, but are they willing to attend future events as well? Just to add
100%.
that little bit of legitimacy to the whole thing.
So they were really happy with how the event ran and the communication that we had. And so the conversations I had with them on the beach once Damien and his area manager came out was that they want to work with us, not against us. And it's about navigating the rules. And they're not wrong. Like, I want to make like MSQ probably doesn't have the best reputation on the water as far as those divisions go. But I have to give credit to them, mate. They were fantastic. They were like, we want to support you moving forward. We want to support you guys moving forward, but we want to make sure you do it safely. And they brought up great points. They say, Jake, this Moreton event that you did, we have to let the shipping channels know. You get these big ships that come through, you're bringing across heaps of groups. And they weren't wrong at all. They weren't unreasonable. They were there. They were it was quite surprising and quite humbling, really.
It is quite humbling, and I can see the wisdom in that, and those decisions having to be made. But the irony of it is, when on like Australia Day, for example, there would probably be more, or the same, if not a hell of a lot more, skis and boats crossing that shipping channel the whole day.
100%. And so what they want to do in the off season, they've actually invited myself and Jeff Lakeford to go and have a sit with them, and work out moving forward. I've also said to them that I want a year permit as well, to do these sort of events, and they're willing to work with me on that, because they said you need a permit. And I said they weren't. Every time I said a question, they weren't unreasonable. I'm like, it needs 90 days to get a permit. I said, can you let me know what the weather is in 90 days?
Yeah, no, that's what you need in the year's permit for. So
I think they understand that it's written in such a big grey area, that they want to work with. So they're going to look at, we're going to try and work together on a year permit, and they're also going to sit down with Jeff and I, and see what we can do moving forward.
That's really, really, really good. It can only help, and as we said, when I had Seb Bahadurin on last week, we talked about the safety of, right, not being a dick and riding properly, and do the right thing. And I think your event ticked that box.
We also went as far as having.
Yeah.
Go
on.
Oh, we also went as far as having an off-duty paramedic and 2 registered nurses at the event as well.
Was that purely by chance?
Yeah. 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 Which worked out great. I was like, yes, we'll definitely promote that.
Like, if you look at the demographics of the population, of a large group of people there, you've got to have.
But it sounded fantastic.
Is there a doctor in the house, please, or is there a nurse in the house, please?
Yeah.
No, it did really, really good, but certainly, it's a great starting point. It's a great starting point for what could be achieved in the future for the community here.
Because you look at the Americans, they do it so well. Florida ski riders do it amazing.
I don't know what their limitations are. I don't know whether they have had the same barriers, and they've worked towards being allowed to do it, or whether they just allowed to throw big groups together and they don't get challenged on it. Like, it might be worth having a chat with Randy when Randy Cabrera from the Florida Ski Riders. It might be worth having a chat with him and see what they've had to go through to get to where they are as far as permits and that. I've got a feeling they maybe didn't have that kind of issue. I think it's maybe a Queensland thing.
Yeah, I'll be interested to know what it's like in different states and stuff as well. But you see groups riding all the time. It's just, I think we maybe have a more active.
I don't know if it's still happening, but Randy's meant to be coming over here next month. He's meant to be doing some rides with the guys down in Victoria, and they're coming up to Queensland. But I don't know if last time I spoke to him, he was coming. But that was a few weeks ago, so I don't know if that's changed any. I know that it's been kept quiet at the moment. As far as Victoria is concerned, they've never said for definite whether he's coming or not. They are planning to come up, but whether Randy's there with them or not. But they want to ride with the group, some of the groups in Queensland. So that'll include people like yourself, and that'll include people like you, and whoever else wants to go for a ride with them. So again, that could be a big group ride again, just simply because they want to meet Randy. The people that have seen Randy and his videos and that. But again, it's a great opportunity for us as a community to pick his brains about the barriers that they've came up against.
100%. And I think if we can get that year permit of MSQ2, it kind of keeps everyone happy as well.
Did they make any mention? Now, Moreton Duran's brought up an interesting point. Have they made any mention to you in regards to insurance requirements?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, so you need public liability,
Right.
which I'm currently looking into at the moment, and the costings. If there's
Trying to
anyone
help you.
watching who does public liability, please get in contact with me.
Hey, there you go. And there's got to be someone. Yeah, but
That'd be
you're struck
someone,
lucky
right?
with 2 nurses and a doctor on
Yeah,
Saturday.
yeah,
You never know. Yeah, I know
yeah.
that can be costly, but
Mm.
yeah, it's not the case that you can just ride off the back of the rider's insurance. It's not like that. You know, if you're putting your name to a ride, then yeah, you're the focal point of it. Unfortunately, I do
100%.
remember a couple of years ago, Michael Bayrell, he had put up a post about trying to get a big group to go over to Moreton Island and basically have like a flotilla party type thing, like a big
Yep.
beach party, and he had such a response on it. Like Michael would probably correct me, or somewhere, he'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I've got a feeling it hit about the 300 people mark, that were all going, and everybody's like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it, let's do it. And the same thing happened that almost happened to you. MSQ got wind of it and basically said to him, you go ahead with this, you're going to get fined. And then
Yeah.
he just went, nah, I canned the whole idea. He pulled out of it, but I believe there was still a group of people went over. I don't know how big that group was, though, unfortunately. So, but he didn't want his name attached to it at all. So,
Yeah.
I guess fast forwarding now to, I think that might have been about 3 or 4 years ago. But now fast forwarding, Michael would have been at your ride at the weekend.
I believe he was. I really tried to get up and down that beach to see
A
everybody.
lot of people, mate. There were a
Yeah.
lot of people there, a lot of people. And you know what was good about it? There were a lot of mixed couples, kids, all that kind of stuff as well. It was really, really good.
We even
So,
had first timers, someone who like people who'd literally bought a jet ski last week.
and that's the thing as well that I've heard, that the one thing I've noticed a lot lately is posts from new people
Mm.
that are eager to get out and do the big rides to Moreton Island. They want to see what it's all about. They've seen it. They want to experience it. And then yours came along at the right time, and they've all just went, "Yep, let's just do it."
And that's
So,
what I said to MSQ was I said the reality is people can go out and they get their jet ski license. The jet ski portion of it is about 30, 40 minutes.
yep,
And, they've got to learn the rules, but, you can't retain all that information.
yep.
And then they go buy a jet ski. And the dealer does an okay job, but they can't educate them on every part of the water. I said it's rides
They
like
can
this can
give you the
hopefully insight
basics. They can
people.
give you the
Mm.
basics, but when it comes to the actual broad war and all the various areas, it's just like there's a map, and they basically hope that you can read it properly and understand
Yeah.
it and interpret it properly. Now, while you're speaking about that, the interesting thing is I've actually got a gentleman coming on next week who actually does boating and jet ski licenses. So
Oh,
he's
awesome.
going to be our guest next week. So I think it's Boat Coaches is the name of the company. Ben Williams is the guy who's involved. So he'll be on next week. So we'll get a chance to have a chat with him about licensing requirements and
Yeah.
yeah, and any questions, especially questions that can come in through the chat. That would be excellent if we can get that involved. So he's going to be on next week. So a good follow on from what you're talking about with new riders. Yep. So yeah. So how did the new riders get on? Did a lot of them manage to keep up okay, or?
Yeah, no, they're fantastic. We kept it pretty slow crossing the bay. It wasn't actually as flat as we thought it would be.
I
I don't
heard it was
know.
better on the way back.
Yeah, I don't know. The winds were so low, but the swell. I was talking to MSQ and the water police about it, and they all said the same thing. They're like, "Well, we seen what you seen, and it should be near glass." And
Yeah,
I was,
yeah. I
but
think
we,
it just wasn't quite sitting the right way because Jeff
no,
Jeff told me he went over and he said it was pretty bumpy, pretty lumpy when he was
yeah.
heading over. But I think he left around about 12, maybe 12 o'clock, after 12, and he come back. He said it was like glass. He said it was great.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I think also the big reason why and they went okay was again credit to the people that helped with the event, like the leaders from the other ramps and the sweepers and all that sort of stuff.
yeah,
You take a few extra stops, let everyone catch up.
yeah.
Um,
And for everybody that's watching this, for people to understand, it wasn't all from one ramp that people left. There
mm.
was there was how many groups left from
I
different
think there's
ramps? Can
about
you give an
six or
idea?
seven ramps.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. I know that Cleveland had one.
yeah.
There would have been Paradise
Port of
Point,
Brisbane,
Port of Brisbane,
Bribey.
Scarborough.
Scarborough,
and Bribey. Is it Bribey?
yeah, Bribey, and
Yeah,
Paradise Point. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So takes a bit of organising, but when you've got people all over the place that are willing to lead a group over, that's really helps the cause considerably. So what have you got planned for the future if you get the green light on the permits? Like
so probably
what would you like to do? What would you
just
like to do?
keep getting them bigger and better. So already looking, I think the venue's already chosen for the next event, which we'll do sooner rather than later because everyone's itching at me.
Are you are
And
you are you in a position to announce or
yeah, we're
let
going to do
that
Peel Island. We're
Peel
going to take
Island?
over Peel
Okay,
Island. Yeah,
take over
um,
Peel Island.
whole island, whole island.
You're doing a land grab.
Yeah, land grab. We're going to take it over.
Now, my question in there would be,
Hmm.
who do we need to get permission to go on to that? Like, I know that's a general, like Horseshoe Bay, everybody can go on to that one generally.
Hmm.
But if it's a large group or potentially a large group that's going to be there, A, do you have to get permission from the rangers there or the traditional owners?
That's what I'm finding out now.
Yeah,
So it looks like we'll be fine, but it's just about getting permit. Look, I find a lot of these. My experience with them is they just want to know, like,
yeah,
if,
yeah,
if they get the
yeah,
phone calls and stuff, that's when they get upset. But
yeah,
if you're proactive rather than reactive,
yeah.
they're actually okay.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you there. A little bit of information, just giving people a heads up is usually that's more than enough. Yeah. So, when are you looking, or when are you hoping to maybe do Peel? You got
Late March, early April ish.
right, okay.
But then I got
So
reminded about school holidays, so just confirming the dates. We don't want to do it around then.
that's when's
First
that?
of April to
That's
the 15th, I think.
yeah. I think you're right. I think you're right. It is because I'm away to the Grand Prix that weekend, and that's the start of the Easter holiday. Which right, yeah, it is. Yeah. So yeah, it is. Oh well.
Hmm.
Um, Don't have it on the weekend of the Grand Prix, or I'm going to miss it.
You're not
Damn
missing
you.
the next one.
Damn you.
I
Exactly. I don't want to miss the
yeah.
next one. So you got to have it the weekend before or the weekend after.
I
You
think we
know?
bring a table and you can podcast from the event. We'll set you up with a nice little umbrella, little
I'll
straw
have a
and a
wee, I'll have a
coconut.
wee, I'll have a little foil hat on just to get a signal.
Yeah, yeah. I've actually already looked at it and I can get you internet on Peel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've managed to get it on my phone because it was my mobile data that I was using for the state championships up at Somerset Dam, which I was really, really surprised was as strong as it was. And I had a lot of feedback from people saying your broadcast is actually better quality than your normal podcast. But yeah, we'll sort something out for that. I think that would be a great thing to just muck around with and just play around with and yeah, just let people see that we're having a good day. So I'd love to do that. Yeah, I think that'd
And
be pretty cool.
I've already had expression of interest by JSW and especially Jet Pilot who really want to get involved in these things,
Yeah,
and really get behind it. I think they see the potential as well and kind of the positive that it can bring out in people. And
yeah,
that's the thing. As you know, there's so many Facebook groups in Queensland. Like Queensland has more Facebook groups than everything, and a lot of them do a really, really good job. And but what I like about these events is it's not just promoted in one. It's like everyone, doesn't matter where you're
and I
from,
think
come have a
that's
good
like
time.
I think if we look at again, if we compare ourselves to Florida,
Mm.
yeah, there's a huge, massive group, 50,000 members, and yeah, that membership is global. It's a global
Yeah,
membership. Um, and there's no reason why, and there's multiple groups that are within that as well. There's a lot of different groups that filter into that. But it's almost like Florida Ski Riders is the top bracket, and then it all
yeah.
kind of filters down from there. Um, and they're all organising their own individual rides for the year, and then you just pick and choose which one you want.
Yeah, no,
So
I think there's a
there's
bit
no
of a
reason
gap
why
at the
we
moment
yeah, there's no reason
of
why we
confident
couldn't do
riders.
similar. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think yeah, I'd agree with you. I think you've got the hardcore riders that go out all year round, um,
mm.
and then you've got a lot of people that just seasonal. They'll only go out for so long, and unfortunately, they were the ones that we were saying last week. That there's a lot of them because they're seasonal. They'll just go out and have an absolute hoon on
Yeah,
the water, and just because I'm not out there all the time, so they'll only go out for Australia Day. They'll only go out when the weather's really good or it's a long weekend. but they're causing carnage while they're out there, or causing upset to people. And they make
Oh,
us look
mate.
bad. They make everybody else look bad.
On the Sunday after the event, so the next day, myself, my partner, and Alan, we rode from Southport down to Tweed River, up Tweed River, and out to Cook and back. And mate, when we came back into the Seaway, it was like carnage. It was just jet skis
It's
flying
mad.
everywhere, and I'm like,
It's
get
mad.
me out of here! It was
Yeah,
madhouse.
it's mad. It is very. Yeah, it's people don't believe how bad it can be, and I think because it's a busy waterway, that area is just it's a play park
Yeah.
pretty much for everyone, not just jet skis but everyone. There's Jeff just tuned in. Good evening, Jeff. We've been talking about you earlier on. Good stuff, I must admit. Good words about him. Yeah, so yeah, that'll be interesting then. I look forward. What's the likely planning or scenario with the Peel Island ride then? Are we talking about multiple ports of departure or?
Yeah, it'd be very similar setup. The idea is this time, pretty much do what the same thing we did last time, except we're gonna want to have more, activities on the beach, bring families in a bit more, and I would like to set up, not educational booths, but there might be people there that can provide a little bit of training, answer questions, similar to what MSQ have done, and kind
Yeah.
of cater to everything and try and
Extend
bring
them
the
the
community
invite.
up together.
Extend them the invite with the ride, and then that way you're keeping them in the loop as well, and it's up to them whether they decide to show up or not.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So MSQ have asked between now and whatever we do in the future is when an event comes up, actually send it to them,
Yeah.
and like all the stuff we plan on doing and saying, and but they pretty much said do the same thing as last time. You've
It
ticked a
it
lot of boxes.
sounds it sounds really positive and promising. So as long as everybody continues to do the right thing, then
Yeah.
I think we'll be on good footing. So yeah, fingers crossed. And the thing is as well, it'll not just have ramifications for us here in Queensland, but hopefully it can then spread
Mm.
throughout Queensland and then around all the other areas. Because I don't know how strict they are in other areas with large groups, but I know Queensland obviously they have been.
Yeah, I'd imagine New South Wales being pretty strict. I know they're pretty strict with jet skis in general.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
But hopefully
Um,
we can kind of change that
but
stigma.
we've all got the same issues. We've all got the same problems with hoon riders and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, it's interesting times for us. It could be for you anyway. You and Jeff and I have started something that could could be massive for us here in
Hopefully it
Queensland.
keeps
So
going.
yeah, listen, if you're doing the Peel Island ride, I'm not going to have that far to ride, so I might have to go from somewhere else because Cleveland ramp is only 5 minutes up the road for me, and it takes me about
Just ask
5 minutes.
Alan where he's going. He always goes from the furthest spot.
Takes me 5 minutes to cross the bay to Peel Island. That's not a ride.
That can't be classed as a ride.
Nah. Oh, the only the only thing I'll maybe have a look and see if I can work out. Can I do a live podcast from the jet ski while I'm
Ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah, you can do it. I think GoPro's got a live function, don't they?
It does, it does.
Yeah.
But I'll need to look at that. There's like tech now is just going nuts. It's just like all this tech stuff that's on the go is go via wave break. Jeff says go via wave break.
And that's the thing now, right?
That's all
Like I
right.
get so many messages on the week of people like, "Hey, I want to get an action camera. How do I mount it to the jet ski?" Like that is such a common question now.
Yep.
Probably more so than how much fuel do you use?
Listen,
More and more people.
I've spoken with Jeff about this in the future, and I've also spoken with Dallas at Jet Pilot about coming in and maybe sitting with each other and we've just filmed little segments about various things, whether it be ride gear or whether it's
Mm.
cameras. And like when we first started off with podcast, I did a little thing with Jeff, and he was kind of talking. We talked initially about some cameras that he had been using. And then some of my other guests that I've had on, we've talked about the Insta cameras and GoPros and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely something that people want to do. They
Hmm.
want to capture the memories. And to be honest, these 360 cameras that you guys are using, man, the footage is unbelievable. But yeah, so um, there's definitely going to be an explosion of videos and people sharing their passion of riding. So
Yeah, it's getting out there, getting a good teacher, I say, and I'm very blessed to
yeah.
have the
Well,
master of
we would
360.
happily, I'd be happy, I'd be happy to sit down with you, Jeff, and whoever else, and
And
if
let's
if
include Brezzo. Brezzo loves this stuff,
yeah,
and he's
exactly.
great
And
with his stuff. Yeah,
if we can put stuff together, not just for cameras, but just like little hints and tips, because we see the questions on Facebook all the time. So if we can do little features on them, then that would be great. So yeah, let's work. Let's once we get an off air, we can talk about all those things later on. So
yeah,
we'll work it
100%.
out. Okay. All right, mate. So I'm not gonna hold you any longer. I think we'll let you go because you've probably got young kids or something to get sorted out and in bed, or tuck your wife up.
Yeah, definitely the wife.
Tuck her
She's
into bed, get her
yeah,
tucked in,
yeah,
hot cocoa.
yeah. Good back massage. She has a
Oh,
routine
hey,
that she
listen,
requires
hey,
now.
listen, I don't want to hear about that. That's up to you. That's none of my business, mate. Do you want to shout out anybody before you go?
Yeah, I do. I do real quick. Definitely, probably someone who's I haven't thanked enough, and that is Gabby and Brezzo. They have helped me a lot. They're such nice people when it comes to my channel and my content and
They're
stuff.
so helpful, eh?
Yeah, they are. They're absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
And they're the first ones. I know they're very proud, but they were the first top fans of the Facebook page, which they hold very dear. I'm pretty sure it's in their house in the frame. Uh, so extremely happy. Obviously, my partner Roxy, like she lets me jet ski a crazy amount of time. It's ridiculous how much I jet ski.
You got to keep her on
Um,
side.
yeah, she's a good egg, and she's
She looks like she's just
she's
off
giving me the
camera
eyeballs.
there. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
just
just
off
give me the
camera there.
eyeballs. And
Say
I've already
good
thanked
things.
people like Jeff and Alan and
Yeah,
those sort of people. And the Facebook groups they're doing a really good job.
yeah.
I think you got three main groups. You got Ride Days, and that's kind of where I started filming. And they've been really supportive of me just spamming my content and helping me do things. And obviously Jeff runs a pretty amazing group too. But you got Glenn's group as well, which I feel like is very underrated. His Southeast Queensland camping group. They get some really cool ideas, and they kind of take that adventure side to a different angle as
Okay.
well.
Is that
Yeah.
Glenn Ryan?
No, Glenn Coggery.
Ah, okay. We'll talk about that afterwards because that might be
Yeah, he's got a
interesting.
great group.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we'll get him on. We can have a talk about because that's a side of it that we don't talk about is camping, jet skis, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's another topic we can work on. All right, cool. All right, nice one. Anyone else?
Just the usuals, Jet Pilot and JSW. Oh, JSW, giving away free jet ski at the moment. Did you see that?
I
Free
saw that.
entry.
I saw that.
No,
I saw
free
that.
jet ski.
I saw that. I've got to be careful though because it's a clash. It's a conflict of interest for me.
Wait, didn't I hear that you wanted to switch to Seadoo?
Yeah, but that's through Shoreline.
Oh.
Shoreline Seadoo, Moss Street, Slacks Creek. You can get a good deal on a jet ski. Shoreline Yamaha, you get a good deal on a jet ski. Brisbane Kawasaki.
Love it. Love
I've actually entered it.
it.
But the only thing is, you've got to be in attendance. So,
Yeah.
and that might be the only issue. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go all the way down there just to see if I want a jet ski. But, yeah.
Just
Not
print
my
off a
luck.
face mask, mate. I'll wear it for you.
No, you won't. You'll rip it off just before.
Free jet ski? No, it's Jake. Woo!
All right, all right, Jake.
All right, buddy.
I'll let you
Thank you
go,
so much.
and we'll need to go out on the water together at some point. So we'll definitely keep in touch with each other. And as far as working on other stuff and other things, then yeah, we'll do all that. All right,
Sounds really good. Thanks so much, Bruce.
no problem, Jake. Take it easy.
See you, buddy.
All right, see ya. Yeah, so there we go. That was I really enjoyed that one. Jake, thanks for coming on, mate. Enjoyed that chat and the conversation. Interesting view on what everything that happened as far as having to get to the point of the event. Yes, it almost did get called off officially, but it probably would have still went on unofficially. It's just that Jake wouldn't have been involved in it because obviously he would have been held responsible for it. But it's all worked out great, and hopefully it's planted the seeds for good things to happen as far as cooperation, working together with MSQ, and the implications for that are just so good. Yeah, that would be fantastic if we can start doing that kind of stuff. I think I pretty much. My story about Instagram. I'll come back to that one again. I was planning. I had it all set up. I've got a little. I've managed to get a plugin that allows me to go live on Instagram, allegedly. Now I had it all set up and the screens and everything. I rearranged the templates because templates on Instagram for live streams are completely different from what you have on this particular stream. So your 1920 1080 with a normal stream, but the problem with Instagram is it's the other way around. So it's 1080 by 1920. So as far as your layout's concerned, you've got to change it completely. It's what we would call portrait style. So it took a little bit of work to get it all fitted in and working. And I thought I had it all working. And then when I went to go live, I did a little pilot test the other night, and it worked all right. It was a little clip went up, and I think somebody commented, but I don't know who it was because I got a notification. But the problem with tonight was it couldn't find the feed that I was trying to access in order to get it streamed to Instagram, even though I copy and pasted it into the stream. So it should have worked. In theory, it should have worked, but for some reason it hasn't. But I'll have a look at it again, and I'll see if I can get it working. So there might be a couple of test runs happen over the next couple of days or over the next week. And then hopefully next week we won't only be just broadcasting live on YouTube or Facebook, but I will actually manage to have it up on Instagram as well. So if I have it on Instagram, there's a chance I might be able to get onto some other platforms that use the same 1080 by 1920 format. So we'll see. Bell, it was you. That's right. I remember that now. So I did manage to get the stream up. It was just a screen that just kind of ran for a little bit, and then Bell commented on it. Yeah, so Bell saw it. Bell Anderson saw it. So thank you for that. I'll work on that, and I'll try and get that sorted out so that we'll be going live on three platforms, which would be pretty crazy, considering we only started on one. And I'm almost at my anniversary for when we did our first stream. 4th of March was our first official stream last year, and yeah, so that was pretty cool. I'm pretty happy that we've come this far. That after all these weeks, I'm still putting out content, and I'm getting people to watch, which is which I'm actually really thankful for, and I'm quite blessed by that from everybody that wants to do that, that's taking their time to watch, and I'm really thankful for that. And it's without your help and support that makes it all possible. Not just on wait a minute, I've lost a video here. There we go. Sorry, thought I'd lost a video there. Yeah, so I'm actually quite blessed that people are taking the time, out of their own time to sit and watch this for an hour or so, depending on whoever the guest is I've got on. Guys, I really enjoyed doing this, and I do it because I get to speak to different people. We get to share experiences. We get to talk about things that matter most to people. And obviously the latest, the new thing at the moment is we're getting a lot of new people riding skis who are just setting off and want to learn how to be competent and confident on their jet skis. We've all been there. When we first started, we were maybe not all very confident, but if I can spread the word out across more platforms, then great, I'll do it. So at the moment, we're obviously on the 2 platforms at the moment. If you ever want to watch any of the previous editions, the previous episodes, you'll find them on YouTube. You can actually look them up on Facebook as well. Have a look at episode 1 when I had Carla McLennan and Joanna, Joe Gillespie, Christopherson at the time, but she's now Joe Gillespie. When they first came on, they were my first ever guests that I had on. Have a look at it, and it was pretty raw. I think it was anyway, but I think we've come a long way since then, and I've been fortunate that I've been able to invest a little bit in some better equipment to make the job easier, make the quality of it a bit easier as well. So I thank everybody for being the audience and for all the sponsors. We've got Shoreline, we've got Jet Pilot, we've got God, my mind's gone blank. Paul Baisley, Heavy Haulage. We've got Jet One Industries, Brisbane Kawasaki and K-Speed, Sand Shark. Jeff, I can't thank you enough for letting me use a lot of your images and videos that you've got. It's really nice to be able to do that, and I thank you for that. Yeah, so I've ranted on enough. I think I'm going to close things up for the night. Next week, remember, I've got Ben Williams, who's coming on from Boat Coach, who are a boat and PWC license provider. Guys, it's an opportunity to fire in your questions, clarify a few things. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it constructive. It's an opportunity to pick his brains and get some information from them. If there's a grey area that you can't quite remember, then it's an opportunity to ask some questions. So we'll get Ben on and we'll talk about all that. Until next week, I'm going to leave you with a video from Morn Durand, and it's a Wet Sundays again, but it's more of drone footage that he has. He has a FPV DJI drone, which looks pretty mad, and he likes playing around with it quite a bit. But he's provided this video, which is on his YouTube channel. I'm going to close out the show. Till next week, stay safe, have fun, look out for each other.
Entrenched in legislation, a great reform which will benefit the coming generations of Australians.